Good morning, Gurukulam.
Good morning.
A soldier fights not because he hates what is in front, but because he loves what is behind him. This program by Duti Vahahas is a tribute, reverence, and remembrance in honor of the Kargil war heroes who laid their lives for the sake of the country. This 22nd year of Kargil Vijay Divas marks the courage and sacrifice of our Indian soldiers. And I personally stand as a very proud Indian and even an ex-NCC cadet during those days of schooling. So really, I'm so happy and proud to be a part of this great grand program in paying homage to our soldiers who are very soulfully sacrificed their life for the sake of the nation. And let us begin our program by prayer. Guru Vandanam.
We have here
We have
Shweta and
we have Shweta and Sandwana of 12th Science. Over to Shweta.
ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिम् ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिम् द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वते साक्षिभूतम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वते साक्षिभूतम् भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुन्तं नमामि भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुन्तं नमामि आनन्द एव विजयते मनस्वस्थतेवानन्द मनोजय एव महाजय अहिंसैव परमो धर्मः.
Thank you, Shweta and Sandwana. Now we have a minute's silent prayer for the souls that left us protecting from the hands of enemies. So let us all be on our foot and pay a tribute to those people who selflessly sacrifice their lives, leaving their families breathless for the sake of our nation, India. Thank you. And now we have a small artistic tribute that is in connection with Kargil War Memorial at Ladakh that was laid by the Indian Army that took up the toll of 527 soldiers of those days. And every year, July 26th is observed as Kargil Vijay Divas. And now you can witness a small artistic tribute paying homage to our soldiers. And to add a little more information, this Kargil War Memorial is built by Indian Army located at Dras in the foothills of Tololing Hill, which is a place to pay homage to soldiers, where it is imprinted as a saga of supreme sacrifice. And now, you see a small picture of Amar Jawan Jyoti at India Gate, Delhi. We'll see the group teachers, Dudi Vahagas, spraying golden powder as a mark of tribute and respect to the souls of the soldiers. And let us all salute to all our soldiers who have contributed, shed their blood, breathed their last for the sake of our country. And now I would like to quote certain wordings which was said by Captain Vikram Batra. Either I will come back after hoisting the tricolor, or I'll come back wrapped in it, but I'll be back for sure. The powerful words resonate in our mind. And also we can recollect one more wording. Our flag doesn't fly because the wind moves. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it. Yes, these soldiers are the shield for the country and the sword for the enemies. So definitely, I believe that every one of us could have contributed, paid our homage, tribute, a great salute to the souls of these soldiers who have sacrificed their life for India, our nation, the proud India. Now, as a mark of respect, our teachers light the candle. Let this light spread everywhere round the hills of India, valleys, and in each and every heart of Indian. Let us have a selfish patriotic feeling. Now, let me invite our girls to play a small song as a tribute for these soldiers. Over to Shweta. Let us remember their toil, their hard work, their sincerity.
आई मेरी ज़मीं अफसोस नहीं जो तेरे लिए सा दर्द सहे महफूस रहे तेरी आन सदा चाहे जान मेरी ये रहे न रहे हाय मेरी ज़मीन महबूब मेरी नस नस में तेरा इश्क बहे भी कान पड़े कभी रंग तेरा जिस्मों से निकल के खून कहे तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू तेरे नदियों में बह जावा तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू माँ तुझे सलाम अम्मा तुझे सलाम वंदे मातरम वन्दे मातरम् 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 वन्दे मातरम्
Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram.
Let the seed of this patriotic feeling germinate in each and every heart of our tender children of this BSS Gurukulam and all over India. This we surrender our soul, heart, and even our blood to the sake of nation for all the souls who have lost their life, leaving their family behind. So now, let me invite our principal, Dr. Vijayan V. Anand, to give his welcome address.
Very good morning to all. Pranams to all Kargil soldiers who have shed their life in the battle. And a very auspicious hour. We have here great personalities like Divagaran Padmakumar Pillai sir and also Captain Satwendra Sangavan. And of course, we have Balambiga Madam, Principal, B.Ed College, and teachers, beloved students, and parents. I first of all welcome you all to this auspicious hour of Kargil Vijay Divas celebration. Actually, this day commemorates in two sense. Like in my point of view, when I was thinking while sitting over here, I am thinking about more than 527 great Indian soldiers. They lost their life in this Kargil war. So just imagine the family members and their relatives and the nation, entire nation, lost great youth of the country due to a single war. So in this hour, of course, we celebrate this as a Vijay Divas, but still we lost our brothers in the war. So it must not happen, because all over the world, we are all human beings. Only these human beings are getting into these conflicts, not animals and birds, nor our nature provide this. Nature, of course, we have calamities, natural calamities. That is also because of man's intervention towards the nature. So today, very disappointment is there from all over the world. It has to be thought about this war is required or not. See, in the year 1999, children, I am talking to you. In the year 1999, from May to July, it was a tough time for all Indians were looking into as a war where the Pakistanis, soldiers and infiltrators and terrorists, they crossed the borderline. That has initiated for this war. India never invaded or attacked anybody. That is why we have to be proud of being an Indian, because India never till these ages we can see that India never went and attacked anybody. Always we were protectors, and even during that time, the Indian Army as well as the Indian Air Force, they together joined the venture, and Indian Air Force have the captain were having a plan to attack Pakistan. The major parts of the Pakistan has to be attacked by the Indian Air Force. But the then Prime Minister Adal Bihari Vajpayee, he instructed never cross the boundaries, never cross the borderline. He was very strict because we have the culture that the civilians must not get attacked by these kind of war or any other atrocities. So see, the great mind of India is like that only. We never, ahimsa is the great principle we follow. So that during that war, many lost their body parts. They even lost their life. As I said, more than 527 soldiers of India lost their life, and many were wounded very dreadfully, badly. So we, of course, that day we lost, but still, this is something like a paradoxical situation where we have to celebrate the Vijay Divas also. Because enemy, as the soldiers, Sri Priya teacher was reading, no, like the flag flies not because of the wind. The great Indians who shed their life, because of that only this flag is flying. So that feeling must arouse in all of us. So we, being an Indian, we protect all human beings, but we never allow anybody to attack us. So the soldiers in the boundary, they live actually to protect us. They don't want to attack the enemy. Only because of protecting the this one whom we have to save, because of that only they get involved in the conflicts. Anyhow, in this occasion, let us have peace, spread peace. At least Indians can have that broad mind of considering everybody all over the world. Let this peace propagate by celebrating this Kargil Vijay Divas. Okay. So, my dear children, you are all the great future citizen of the country. So, you must have patriotism, no doubt. But more than that, you must have the feeling of human being. We have to consider all human beings of this earth, but never allow anybody to shatter us. That must be the feeling, because when we see these soldiers, great soldiers, we will get goosebumps and we will feel that. Today morning when Satwan sir was talking to me, he was so humble. He was talking to me in such a way, a simple man who lost his leg in this in being a part of this one soldier for the country. He lost his leg, right leg below the knee was amputated. Now he is and even this great person, as after his this one he lost his leg, still he is an inspiring person. Really, children, you and the entire Gurukulam family, even your parents and even me, as well as all the teachers, are really blessed with having such a great person, because people like him are the real role models, not the film actors or any other. Yes, isn't it? We have to consider them as the real role models. They are the real heroes in our life. When we see in movie any soldier or anybody, we consider them as the hero. But still, the feeling which they provide, no, when we see many movies are there. In that movie, when we see 1921, in that 19 many soldier movies are there, no. In that and all, we get goosebumps. But remember, the real live, they are in the sea minus 10 degree in the Kargil. During that war, it was minus 10 degree, and in that atmosphere they have fought for the country, and still the many soldiers are in the borders in this situation. You just imagine that. So children, during this pandemic, we may think that, oh, we are all held up in house, we are locked up, and always we think negatively. But just imagine, we have been protected for long years by the great soldiers of our country. So at least in this day, we will pay tribute as well as homage to these great soldiers. Okay, so now I don't want to take much time because we have here these great personalities, Captain Sadendra Sangwan, and his name also I cannot pronounce properly. Sorry for that, sir. And he will be Sangwan, but it is written like this. Okay. Anyhow, Sangwan sir is here, Captain, and yes. So sir will be talking to you. Before that, children, before that you will be watching two videos of his presence, and you just go through that. After that, sir will be talking to you. Okay, so once again, I welcome entire Gurukulam family and the great soldiers to participate in this Kargil Vijay Divas program, and again wishing everybody this Kargil Vijay Divas wishes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Sir, before that, I would like to say two
sure,
words.
sure, sure.
Sir, really, I felt ashamed.
Huh? Okay.
See, actually, I felt ashamed when I happened to read about these great warriors, great real life heroes only yesterday. Why didn't we come to know about these people earlier?
Yes.
There are hundreds and thousands of soldiers. Remarkably, they have sacrificed their life for the sake of nation and still living, and we didn't come to know about it. Really great to know about you people and to speak about you, sir. Like it was said, like being a 30-year-old gentleman of those days, 1999,
Yes.
you were into this war as the first, first soldier entry to that Kargil space. And you were very courageously fighting there. And you had a very small slip, I read. It's to the landmine and you lost your leg. But really, I was inspired to see a video where you were telling, I have lost only my leg. I have still a very big body to be sacrificed for my nation. So the Pakistanis should be aware about it. And I also don't believe in dying for the sake of nation, because I need to live and do something great for the nation. That words were really inspiring for me, because we all believe dying for the country. Why should we die for the country? We should live and show and prove who we are, and we have to do something for the nation. Let the enemies die, as you said, right? So really, we are so grateful to meet you here, and we wish to hear your golden words, your inspiring words, and also one more thing that fascinated me, Yeah, see, these soldiers are all you're all high-spirited people, no doubt. But each and every one of you carry with you something, that power of showing this world how to live, even conquering challenges. That's what you have been, an athlete, basketball player, and even you have tried mountain climbing, Mount Everest. You have achieved. You have achieved the peaks of that zenith event. Really, hats off to you. Pranams. More than this, I have no words to speak about you, sir. So much proud to see you. And as principal said, we will see few videos.
Children must see some videos. Sir. Okay, so the video will. Dear students and parents, some lagging is there. Now it's a delay is there. You can see the video now. Just below 1 minute.
Today we tell you the story of a soldier who not only risked his life for the country but continues to prove his mettle despite disability on the sports field. Retired Captain Satendra Sangwan lost his leg in the Kargil War in 1999. Today, we tell you the story of a soldier who not only risked his life for the country but continues to prove his mettle despite disability on the sports field. Retired Captain Satyendra Sangwan lost his leg in the Kargil War in 1999. Captain Sangwan recalled in an interview that he was among the soldiers who had the responsibility to liberate Lone Hill. This duty fell on the 16 Grenadier Regiment Commandos and 2nd Rajputana Rifles. On 29 June 1999, they made their way to Lone Hill, where they faced an onslaught from the enemy. In the heavy fire, 3 soldiers of the Rajputana Rifles were sacrificed. It was pitch black, and one couldn't even tell the direction from where the firing came. The captain advanced after he was given orders to scout Lone Hill at 17,000 feet. He was descending when he stepped on a landmine. At first, he felt no pain, but as he looked down, his right limb was gone. The ordeal of losing his leg in the war gained him the strength to accomplish challenging goals he set for himself post the life-altering event. After retiring from the army, Captain Sangwan served with the ONGC. That is where he picked up a badminton racket and tested his mettle at the sport. He became the Paralympic badminton champion in scores of competitions that he participated in between 2004 and 2010. At the national level, he won 18 medals, 8 gold, 5 silver and 5 bronze. Not just this, Captain Sangwan has also conquered the Everest. In 2017, he headed the ONGC team in scaling Mount Everest, a tremendous challenge for people even without a prosthetic leg. For his contributions in different fields after conquering his disability, the former captain was honored with the trophy of the Best Role Model in Society in 2009 by the then president. He is now challenging himself by running marathons.
One more video is there, children. One more video. Very inspiring words you can listen to him.
Lost my leg. Regrets. Lost my leg. Regrets. In fact, the day when we are putting on a uniform, that day we already promised our complete body, everything to the nation, for the nation. In fact, I am not happy because only a small part of my body has gone, but still my complete body is left. So those idiot Pakistanis, they just taken a small part.
Sir, inspiring is this video, and that triggered us to learn or know more about you. All through your journey of life, you have been to the uphill of triumph. And also, I read somewhere you stated like this, it all started like a small attempt to be physically fit. And finally, it turned to be a history in your life, turning to be a mountaineering person, conquering all your challenges. See, we are so proud of you, sir, and we wish to listen the golden words, the powerful words, inspiring words. On behalf of my Gurukulam family, let me invite you and request you to share some of your memories of those days and this days to this present generation, sir. Please.
I was sharing with the children that during the Kargil war, we were the first one to go into the war, and there the biggest enemy was not the Pakistanis. Of course, they were there. 120 Pakistanis firing from 3 sides of the hills, and we were pinned down. And they were firing at us with the machine guns, with rocket launchers and RPGs. Each and every place, they were hammering us like anything. But we had clear orders that not even a single inch we are going to move back. So if that is the scenario, then with my 15 commandos and whatever training I had, along with my boys, we kept on holding the ground and kept on fighting and killing the Pakistanis.
Here, the bigger enemy was not the Pakistani, but the bigger enemy was the weather, the climate. Dear children and dear parents, can you imagine how it is difficult to survive in the temperatures like minus 25 to minus 30-degree temperatures? We were actually surviving and fighting in minus 25, minus 30-degree temperatures. And then we were not having anything on our head. We were not covered. We were up in the open sky day and night and then fighting the Pakistanis. So this kind of strength, what we could get was not because of anything else, but it was due to sheer training, hard training, blessings of our teachers and our trainers, and the love and affection of our motherland and of our children and of our family members, those who were the strong support. Because in such difficult condition, normally every person, he becomes fearful. He might say not able to concentrate on his given job. But when we are assured that the whole nation, the whole India is standing behind us, then at that point of time we have to remain focused and do not worry about anything else except the killing the enemy and taking back our territory. So in these kind of scenarios, when we were fighting there, uh, it took 7 days, initial 7 days, and in those 7 days, when we were waiting for a reinforcement to come, additional support forces to come, we did not have anything to eat. Actually, we had not gone there to for a full-fledged war. We were just going to find out whether enemy is there or not. But we kept on holding in those icy heights of Himalayas. First 7 days, children, we did not have anything to eat. We kept on fighting without any food. And not only food, last 3 days, we didn't have even a single drop of water. Without food, without water, we kept on fighting. We could see the river and the Nala flowing down below. The water was flowing below us, but we could not even move a single inch. The Pakistanis had totally pinned us down. But the strength, what we had, we kept on fighting till we got the reinforcements. And when we got reinforcements, we were at night moving back, moving behind. And that time, I had a great fall uh, from the mountains, and around 50, 60 feet down, fell down, and I had injury in my spinal cord and other body parts. I was admitted to the hospital in Kargil, base hospital. In the base hospital, then I came to know it is not only in the Batalik sector where we were fighting, but 140 kilometers area of the line of control, there was an intrusion by the Pakistanis. They had actually come inside Pakistan, into Indian areas where uh, there was no person occupying the place. So when I was admitted in the hospital, the doctors, they said, sir, you are badly injured and at least 8 to 10 days you have to stay in the hospital. That was a real shocker for me. I said, no, doctor, I request you, kindly get me whatever medicine you want to give. Give me any kind of medicine, but please, I will leave the hospital within 48 hours. I cannot afford to stay here for 8 to 10 days. Whether you get me all right or you do not get me all right, after 48 hours, you will not see me in the hospital. Doctors, they said, okay, let us try. But they had put a guard on us. These people, these officers, they should not leave the hospital. But at that point of time, the war was in just reaching its peak. And dear children, uh, I asked my buddy to meet me at the Kargil bridge at night 3 o'clock or night 2:30 or 3 o'clock at night. And I went to the washroom, and from there I came out of the hospital. I I kept there dressed there, put on my combat uniform, and I ran away from the hospital from Kargil along with my buddy. And the vehicles were going there to Dras, 60 kilometers. And early morning, 6 o'clock, I was there in my battalion, and I ran away from the hospital. By the time I reached my battalion, the message on the radio message has already been conveyed that one officer has is missing from the hospital. Where is he? He has to be found out. So when I reached there, so my commanding officer, I met him. I said, "Ki Jai Hind, sir, I have reported on duty." So first of all, he was so shocked because he had got the news that I am getting medical treatment and I am supposed to be under treatment for 8 to 10 days, and within 48 hours, this boy has come back, and he actually blasted me. He actually threatened me and all those things, but I kept on saying, "Sir, I could not afford to sit on the medical bed in the hospital bed when my soldiers, my brothers, they are fighting the war. I had to come back." So after abusing me, as you know, in army language, they abuse the juniors. And then he hugged me. He says, "I am proud of you. I expected this thing from you, that yes, at the time of hour, I will have each and every soldier with me, standing by me." So, dear friends, likewise, we kept on going for the independent commando missions at various places, and all the names which you hear, Vikram Batra, Manoj Pandey, all these brother young officers, they were fighting like hell, 15,000, 16,000, 18,000 feet high in negative temperatures. When we were actually fighting there, nobody had actually imagined how the situation would be on the next day. Just to share with you, when we actually go for war at night, the war is not was not fought during daytime because we were openly exposed. Enemy could have killed us anytime. So the entire war was fought at night, and at night in the unknown place, unknown terrain, we were climbing uphill, and the Pakistani was sitting on the top of the hill. Instead of firing any bullet, if they throw the stones on us, even then also they were in a good position to kill us. And that's how actually in many scenarios it has happened. We were climbing, we did not have much to eat. So as we are climbing up, so we are totally aware that after 2 hours we have to capture this. After 4 hours we have to capture next peak, and after so many hours we have to capture next peak. That's how actually we move up in the mountain. And when we are moving up, we do not actually bother about anything else. We are ready to face anything, any consequences which is going to come in our life in further up. We know that if we come back, it's going to be a celebration. And if we do not come back, then the biggest celebration that we will be wrapped in the tricolor, in the national flag. So these are the kind of feeling we have, that when we are wearing a uniform on our shoulders, we are putting the stars on our shoulders. That's the responsibility which President of India gives to each and every officer to protect the motherland at whatever cost. And dear children, when I say whatever cost, the biggest sacrifice what any person, anyone can give to the motherland is his life. Whether it is Subhash Chandra Bose or Veer Bhagat Singh or any of our the leaders, those who have brought us freedom. So each and every soldier who's wearing a uniform has to prove himself worthy of that national flag. So when the question comes that you have to sacrifice everything, yes, we are totally ready to sacrifice each and everything. And there were many occasions, dear children, that when we were going and about to go and capture the enemies, everywhere they are firing at us. It was just like Diwali, that they are firing rocket at us, and our forces are also firing. So it was total chaos. Everyone is firing from each and every side, and but the enemy, they come to know, yes, it is their last night. They are going to be killed. In such kind of operation, dear children, on 28th and 29th, 28th of June, 29th of June, we went to attack the Pakistani post in the place called Lone and Black Rock area, Three Pimple area, where we lost three brave officers: Major Acharya, Padmapani Acharya, Lieutenant Kengruze, Captain Vijayan Thapar, and many of our Jawans from the Rajputana Rifles. I was given the task of attacking the Pakistani post from the left hand side, and the main attack was from the right hand side on the hill. So when we were going up ahead, so at that point of time, Pakistanis hammered us like anything. All the live bullets are actually flying, and bombs are exploding everywhere. But we kept on moving ahead without without actually thinking about anything else except to capture the post and put our tricolor, the national flag, on their bunkers. Once once we got a news that three officers have got injured and have martyred, and many of soldiers there died. So I got tasked to immediately come down from left hand side to immediately come down, climb up, and occupy the Pakistani bunkers, because the Pakistanis, they are known for very swift and fast counter attack. They attack very fast. So I, along with my boys, we went up to those bunkers area. But by the time we were too tired, so all my men, they got assembled 100 meters below the post. I went up, and after reaching the bunker, I saw many of the Pakistani soldiers lying dead over there, many injured. Many of them, they're running away. They left the rations, the sleeping bags, all the ammunition, guns they left. And at the time, I got a call from my buddy that okay, we have already reached the base, and take us up on the top. So we were carrying 25, 30 kg of our loads with us. I said, okay, hold on, I'm just coming down to take you all up. I just moved down around 5 to 10 meters below the bunkers. The Pakistanis, they had thrown the anti-personnel mines. They had thrown the bombs everywhere. So around 10 meters down I'd come. So my leg stepped onto one of the minefield at around 11:30 at night, and there was a big blast, boom. I I could not understand what has happened. After a couple of seconds, I felt a severe pain in my leg below the knee. And when I actually touched my leg, I had to find out why such a great pain is there. I found the leg is not there, and all the bones are hanging. The flesh is torn and heavily bleeding. At that point of time, I understood. Okay, I have lost my leg. It's not there. But I had a bigger mission for me, that the Pakistanis, they should not come back and attack and take the bunker back. So I did not bother about my own injury. I called my men up, and then I asked them to put the machine guns, fix their own positions, and do not, while coming up, they should not step on the ground. They should step on the big boulders, on the big rocks, so that they should not step on any of the minefield. They all came up, and but after that, once we captured the place, I reported to my commanding officer that, sir, I have got injured and my leg is blown off, and but we have accomplished our mission, and our national flag is flying high. So that was a great uh, time for every one of us. But my soldiers, they were very much worried about me. Okay, Saab, you have got injured. But I told them, do not worry. I have already done my own first aid dressing. So I tied my leg, my bones together with a fast field dressing, and it took 8 hours to come down from the top of the mountain there to the base on the roadhead. And after 8 hours, I could get the first painkiller injection, and I could not even afford to get unconscious, because I knew that if I got unconscious, it will be difficult to wake up again. And this is the time that everyone is looking up there. Okay, once Captain Sangwan is going to capture this position, this place, then only the other attacks for the next for further posts can be launched. So that's what I said. Whatever the cost, and the cost could be maximum sacrifice of our life. Like Major Acharya, they had they had captured one post. Then I went up. I, along with boys, we went up. We captured next post, and thereafter, other companies, they were launched after my attack. So when we are actually starting a war at any time, or when we're going for attack, we do not stop. We look after our battle casualties after the mission is over. We get the medicines and everything after the thing is over. First mission is we should put our national flag on the bunkers on the Pakistani post. And I am so grateful to the God that God has given me an opportunity to fight there and to put the national flag there. When I got brought down, so then I got my painkiller injections, and back in the hospital, I was taken with a helicopter. And in the tents, they had our army, great army doctors. They had put the operation theater in tents. That's all. And there they performed the life-saving surgery on my leg, and they further did the surgery and cut it further up so that the poison should not go up in my body. And that is the time, after almost fighting for 2 months, dear children, first time I could speak to my family. 2 months I was fighting, and I could not speak to my family. They were just thinking that what's happening. They didn't have any news about me, and likewise for other soldiers also. But they were very proud. They were feeling very happy that at least one member of the family is fighting there for the nation in the country there at the border. So, so that is the kind of uh, feelings what we have for the motherland and for the for the nation, for the flag. So when I was a child like you, I always used to dream that I should wear uniform, and the day I wear uniform, I will fight for the country and I will save for my countrymen. And I was so fortunate that God gave me an opportunity to wear the uniform, wear the stars on my shoulder, and to fulfill the promise, fulfill the faith what the President of India gave us while giving us commission in the Indian Army, that whatever may happen, you are actually taking the oath for the national flag, for the Constitution of India, to save the motherland. And I'm so fortunate that I could fulfill that. And when I came back in the hospital, in Delhi base hospital, the first letter which I wrote, was to my school principal. And I told him that when I was fighting the war there, it was very difficult condition. The conditions were not good. But your teachings never let me down. They had taught me, my teachers, my principal, they had taught me to be strong, serve the motherland. And that's how it was just a part of my small body, which was taken by the Pakistanis. And I had my entire body to sacrifice. It was just small injury, small body part, does not make a difference. But I could do something for my nation, for my country. And more importantly, by this small little act, whatever I could serve for the fighting 2 months of war, I did everything what was taught to me in my school. I did everything which was taught to by my academy in the training area. So how could I not do whatever I supposed to do? And I feel so proud that whenever I go and meet my teachers, my Guruji, my principal, my students of my own school, they always hold their head high, that yes, we have such kind of students in our school, those who are actually going and serving the nation. And it's not only the soldiers, but in each and every field, whether they are scientists, they are doctors, everywhere, engineers, each and every student, those who are passing out from Gurukul, is a kind of I would say, the brand ambassador of Gurukul. Children, when you leave the school and go across the world, you are actually known from which school you have passed out, who are the teachers who have taught you, and you have a special bonding from these days. So I would say I was so fortunate that I could fight for the motherland, and difficult, and they were very, very difficult conditions, but we were always trained to do so. So that's how when I shifted to the other from army. Then I always took on the challenge. I took a bigger challenge, that being a person in 28 years with the full body, and I used to play basketball and I used to do all the activities. Now, then I don't have body part. What should I do? Then I once again took the challenge and picked up my athletics, picked up my badminton, para badminton, and I represented in the nationals. I won a medal in the nationals. I got selected in the Indian team. Once again, participating in whether it is in Belgium or UK or it is Thailand or Seoul, various countries I represented the country, and I was so fortunate to to fight for the country during the war, and then once again hold the badminton racket in the sports, in the para badminton. And the greatest moment, dear children, was, as you see now, the Tokyo Olympics is happening, when in 2008, in the World Para Badminton Games, when we have won the gold medal, and when we were standing on the podium, and once again the national anthem was sung and the national flag was going up. That was the greatest moment in my life, that I could do something where I could make my nation, make my national flag proud. So these kind of great moments actually I have lived, cherished throughout my life. And thereafter, when I came here in ONGC, I picked up mountaineering. And out of our own full strength of our company, around 30,000 people, they selected only the top 12 fittest people after various different stages of selection, and starting from 5 kilometer run in 25 minutes, then 20 kilometer run in the mountains. More than 600 young officers of around 25 to 30 years age, they actually uh, showed the interest in Mount Everest. And every stage there was elimination, selection, elimination, then basic mountaineering course, advanced mountaineering course, and 7 stages of selection. And the final 12-member team was selected. And dear friends, dear children, I was so happy that our company ONGC, they selected me and given me the responsibility to be the expedition leader of the mission Mount Everest of ONGC. So the challenges are big in life, but our human body, human spirit is so great that every challenge can always be overtaken. And we were so fortunate to host the national flag on the top of the Mount Everest, and we all came back successfully alive. And thereafter, now I am in Delhi for past couple of years, and now since the mountains are not there in Delhi, so I now these days run marathons. So I have participated in almost all the marathon in past 3 4 years, uh, in Mumbai marathon, in Delhi marathon. So I run around 20. I have not done full marathon, but 21 kilometers with my artificial leg. I run and clock the timing of say 2 hours and 10 minutes in 21 kilometers. So that's the kind of timing, that's the level of fitness I'm able to maintain at this point of time also. The idea of telling you and sharing these small little things, what I could just do with the blessings of my elders and my teachers and my colleagues, is that definitely everyone is going to get the challenge. Like in the COVID pandemic, there are challenges. But my dear children, these are only temporary things. Normally, we say our human life is 70 years, 80 years. This COVID pandemic, which came, we already have the solution to it. We already have our medicines, vaccinations. 2 3 years in long life of 70 80 years does not matter much. But what is going to actually matter is how fast we bounce back, how fast we can come back and fight back as a nation, together as a society, as a school, as a management, and as a good citizen. So we must all follow whatever is supposed to do. And as a responsible citizen, as a responsible school children, a responsible teacher, as a responsible parent, what we should do, that at what we can give back to our country, to make a big, to give back to our nation. So when we get commissioned, we take the oath that, that I will protect my nation first and foremost, always and every time. Second comes the men whom I command. The men under my command will always get the next priority after my nation. Their welfare and their well being will be my first priority. And my own welfare, my own safety will come last, always and every time. So, this is the kind of motto, this is the kind of oath we take. Always the nation first, then the men I command. Because these are the brave soldiers, these are the brave men, those who can die for you, those who can are going to walk the last step for you. And we say, we don't want to die for our country. We want to live for our country. Each and every person, each and every soldier, each and every student, each and every citizen should never say, I am ready to die for my country. No, don't say that. We know in deep in your heart, if that moment comes, you will not hesitate. You should always say, I want to live for my country and I want to serve my country, whether it is in the uniform or as a teacher, as a guru, or as an engineer, as a doctor, or anyone, as a housekeeping staff, or as a plumber, as an architect, any job you ought to do, it is actually directly or indirectly going to serve the nation. So, with these words, dear teachers, dear parents, dear students, I actually I'm so feeling so proud that I could interact with you, and please forgive me that while interacting with you, I became quite emotional, and I had tears in my eyes because these things, it's not a matter of a day. This is our life, and we live for the motherland. We have so great connection with our national flag that every time when we see a flag, we salute the flag. So it is purely out of emotions that I could not control my tears, because today whatever I am, it's because of my country, and I actually pay my tribute and homage to my brother officers, Jawans, those who laid down their lives during the Kargil war, as well as on day-to-day basis. They are still fighting the war in Kashmir and in Northeast. So each and every soldier is. I am just here to assure you that you please do not worry about the borders. Our Air Force, our Navy, our Indian Army is there to protect you always and always, and they are going to stand by you. Thank you so much. With these words, I would my speech. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. You really made our day, sir. Actually, it is a lifelong lesson which you have shared, sir. See, children, why they have to come to school? Everything this academic year is complete, sir. With your speech, no, that was from your heart. You spoke with your heart, sir, and really, it was heart touching. And in my point of view, see, I never seen a soldier who emotionally break down. So now I understood that you are also like personalities who have emotions. You will also at time will the tears will roll down. So really, sir, we are actually this day or coming days, our children, they will carry your each and every sentence what you said, no, that will be there in their brain, their heart, and they will put their heart and soul for the country. No doubt, sir. You are a really amazing person. For really, Gurukulam is blessed with your presence today. I see. I
Right.
don't have words to explain, sir. I am searching words what to say now, because you made it, sir. Really, children who are all parents who are all listening, who were listening to you, they really understand what was the this one. How did you feel in the Kargil situation, and how you are carrying your life, and what value you are giving to your life, how do you respect your teachers, your parents, your family members? Such a great person, sir. You are really, really gem, and India is proud of you people. Okay, so
That's
thank you
right.
so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Again and again, I'm telling you, thank you.
Sir, actually, you have taught us no human being can escape from this emotion.
Yeah.
It is a very true self. A soldier is also a person who has heart and mind and soul. And that is the bravery and courage. Wherever we need to show our emotion, it has to be expressed. And thank you so much, sir. These are the thoughts that has to be instilled in the minds of young generation. And even as teachers, you said your teachers taught you how to be bold, courageous, and also to serve motherland. These were the lessons that triggered you up to stay that heights and to fight for the sake of nation. Definitely, we also have that emotions in us, and we will try to imbibe your words in our day-to-day life and share some of the values that you have shared with us. Not truly, it's everything is possible. Definitely, we can promise you, as you made an assurance for us, we could also assure you that these words will be carried out through our profession to children, and definitely each and every one of our school members, our students, will be the true citizen for India. Sir, thank you so much. And now, at this moment, I would like to thank your family for supporting you
Yeah.
to the utmost level throughout being with you. The pleasant face in you shows that you are so happy. And 1001 times you said, fortunate, fortunate,
Yeah.
fortunate. Plenty of times during your speech, you said fortunate. You have faced so many challenges, but still the mind you had to take all those challenges to be your possibilities, your opportunities. That is a lesson for us to learn from you, sir. So hats off to you, a great salute to you. And I'm so proud right now, being those days I have been so wanting to be an RDC participant, Republic Day parade participant, but it didn't happen. But being a Gurukulam teacher, I get every year a chance to meet a great warrior like you and to speak in front of you people. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, the words are not enough to
And sir,
explain our gratitude, our love, our affection
true,
towards
true,
you.
true.
It's really, really, sir. We don't have words to say
See,
that.
normally the whole society feels that military people are always tough, rough, and they are rude. But when we happen to see people like you, we understand that we are more, that you people are more human than we be. That's last year we had a chance to speak with DP Singh.
Okay.
Incredible was his speech and inspiration for us. This year, you. And definitely, this is a great lesson for our children when we get like
Children are really blessed
real life heroes that you
because
said, real life heroes.
Uh,
Like,
when I get a chance to uh, actually come and visit Palakkad anytime, so
yeah.
I will definitely come and visit the school whenever it is possible in my life.
welcome, sir. Welcome to this holy
Great,
land.
great privilege to have you, sir. Here, we are really blessed, sir.
Right.
Uh,
So
Children, see,
okay,
as I said, no, children are academic level when they learn some textual knowledge and all. These are all the real values, sir. Really, see, if I speak about Jallianwala Bagh massacre, General Dyer and all those people who had experienced over there, they can't come here. Now, in the Kargil war, children, this is history. So, you, the participant in that, a real warrior is there in front of us. So, this is the great blessings for entire Guru. No children in this Kerala would have got this opportunity.
More than
So,
this, now no value can be shared with our children.
yes. And now I take this opportunity. Ramakrishnan sir, the major, who is the cousin of Vijayalakshmi teacher, only because of that we were able to connect you, sir. Ramakrishnan sir, major,
yes,
he is the cousin, his cousin is our Vijayalakshmi teacher. So the teacher
right,
of here, only because of that family we were able to get you in this platform.
right.
on this
Thank
great occasion, sir.
I need to thank
thank
you
you
for
so
one
much,
more reason, sir.
One more reason,
The thing is, once when we said that internet connection is not that good, immediately you took up a chance to find a
Yes,
solution for it and you proved it. The thing is, it is not necessary at all for you. It's mechanically you could have done, but the true self in you, that patriotic sense of motherland, you loved each and every member of this nation, and that is what made you do that. And you have proved to be a real role model for our children. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
And now
you.
we are planning to show a small video from our group teachers. I hope you will be watching this, and you will get to know what we are doing in our Gurukulam family too. So please stay online for a few more minutes, sir.
Madam. Actually, I'm getting a call back on my this thing. I was supposed to join a meeting. So I'm getting call back.
Take
So
care.
definitely, I'll connect back once again. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Take care.
Please
Thank you
carry
so
on.
much, sir. Thank you. So you made the
Okay.
day, sir. Really,
Right.
from the bottom
Thank
of
you.
heart. Thank you.
Right.
Jai
Thank
Hind,
you.
sir.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Okay. Thank you. So, children, actually, yeah, children. What did you understand? What did you understood? Isn't it the great day? No, the great day. No students will get such a person in the platform, because he was really speaking to his bottom of his heart, and he explained everything what a human being should be. Really, really, I am
Gandhiji
so
said,
happy.
his life is his message. He
Yeah.
shared his life to be the message for our present generation.
Sure. That is what. So really happy. So this day is made by the Kargil Vijay Divas has become more meaningful, and we pay homage for the great warriors who sacrificed for the country, and also the team Dudi Vahagas who has planned for this, and of course Vijayalakshmi teachers cousin Ramakrishnan sir. In this occasion, I thank everyone, all the technically assisting people over here, and even Sripriya teacher, and even parents and students who are all listening to this. Everyone must have the true spirit of patriotism, and let us all be happy always and make everyone happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now a video is going to be presented. Okay, now you can watch video. I think second period will not be there, I think, isn't it? The third period only will be joining. You require some break also, some gap. So the second period, now you will see a video. After that we will wind up this session, and then third period only we will
From
join
third period.
from third period onwards. So all teachers are listening to this, I hope so. Okay, now I think they are going to play Dudi Bahagas. They are planning for a video. Yeah. Thought for the day.
Snappy morning to all. Today's thought. Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it. I repeat, our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it.
ഇന്ന് ജൂലൈ 26 കാർഗിൽ വിജയ് ദിവസ്. 1999 കാർഗിലിലെ യുദ്ധത്തിൽ ഇന്ത്യ പരാജയപ്പെടും എന്ന് തന്നെ വിശ്വസിച്ചു. നാം ആഘോഷിക്കുന്ന ഓരോ വിജയങ്ങൾക്ക് പിന്നിലും ആത്മവിശ്വാസത്തിൻ്റെയും കരുത്തിൻ്റെയും ത്യാഗത്തിൻ്റെയും നഷ്ടപ്പെടലിൻ്റെയും വേദനകളുടെയും ഒരുപാട് കഥകൾ പറയാനുണ്ടാവും. 1999 കാർഗിൽ യുദ്ധത്തിനും ഇത്തരത്തിൽ ഒരുപാട് പറയാനുണ്ട്. ഇന്ത്യ 100% പരാജയപ്പെടുമെന്ന് എല്ലാ രാജ്യങ്ങളും പറഞ്ഞു. നമ്മുടെ ധീരയോദ്ധാക്കളുടെ നിരന്തര ശ്രമത്തിൻ്റെ ഫലമായി നാം ആ യുദ്ധത്തിൽ വിജയിച്ചു. എങ്കിലും പാകിസ്ഥാനെതിരെ വിജയം നേടാനായി നമുക്ക് സാധിച്ചു. മഞ്ഞുമലകൾക്കിടയിൽ ത്രിവർണ പതാക പാറിപ്പറക്കുമ്പോൾ 527 ജവാന്മാരാണ് അഭിമാനത്തോടെ വീരമൃത്യു വരിച്ചത്. കാർഗിൽ വിജയ ദിവസം ഓരോ ഇന്ത്യക്കാരുടെയും ഹൃദയത്തിൽ അഭിമാനത്തിൻ്റെയും ആദരവിൻ്റെയും അടയാളപ്പെടുത്തലാണ്. കാണാതായ തൻ്റെ ആടിനെ തേടിയിറങ്ങിയ താഷി നങ്ക്യാൾ എന്ന ആട്ടിടയനാണ് കൂട്ടത്തോടെ അതിർത്തി കടന്നെത്തുന്ന പാക് പട്ടാളത്തെ ആദ്യം കണ്ടത്. ഇന്ത്യ പാക് പോരാട്ട ചരിത്രത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ വിജയങ്ങളിലൊന്നായിരുന്നു 1999 ജൂലൈ 26 കാർഗിൽ യുദ്ധവിജയം. 3 മാസം നീണ്ടുനിന്ന യുദ്ധത്തിന് ഒടുവിലാണ് കാർഗിൽ മഞ്ഞുമലകൾക്കിടയിൽ നിന്നും പാകിസ്ഥാൻ പട്ടാളത്തെ തുരത്തി ഇന്ത്യ വിജയക്കൊടി പാറിച്ചത്. 1999 മെയ് 8 മുതൽ ജൂലൈ 26 വരെയായിരുന്നു കാർഗിൽ യുദ്ധം. പാകിസ്ഥാൻ സൈന്യത്തെയും നുഴഞ്ഞുകയറ്റക്കാരെയും തുരത്താനായി ഇന്ത്യൻ സൈന്യം ഓപ്പറേഷൻ വിജയ് ആരംഭിച്ചു. 3 മാസത്തോളം ഇത് നീണ്ടുനിന്നു. 1999 ജൂലൈ 26 കാർഗിൽ യുദ്ധം അവസാനിച്ചു. കാർഗിൽ യുദ്ധവിജയം ഇന്ത്യയുടെ കരുത്തിന്റെയും കഴിവിന്റെയും പ്രതീകമാണ്. ചരിത്രത്തിന്റെ താളുകളിൽ രേഖപ്പെടുത്തിയ ഇന്ത്യയിലെ ഓരോ പൗരനും അഭിമാനം കൊണ്ട ആ കാർഗിൽ യുദ്ധത്തിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത വീരജവാൻ ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മേജർ DP സിംഗ് സാർ നമ്മുടെ ഗുരുകുലത്തിന്റെ പവിത്രപാവനമായ മണ്ണിൽ വരികയും നമ്മുടെ കുടുംബാംഗം എന്ന പോലെ അടുത്തിടപഴകി നമ്മളോട് സ്നേഹത്തിന്റെ കരുത്തിന്റെ ഭാഷയിൽ ഒരുപാട് അനുഭവങ്ങൾ പങ്കുവച്ചു. ആത്മാഭിമാനത്തോടെ ദേശസ്നേഹം നിറഞ്ഞ വാക്കുകളിൽ കരുത്തിന്റെ പ്രചോദനത്തിന്റെ ഒരുപാട് പാഠങ്ങൾ ഓരോ കുട്ടികളിലേക്കും നാം ഓരോരുത്തരിലേക്കും പകർന്നു തന്ന ആ സുദിനം കൂടി ഈ ദിവസത്തിൽ ഓർത്തുപോവുകയാണ്.
He is the first blind runner of India, and we are Gurukul family really proud of such a great man over here. And on behalf of, I'm not taking much time, on behalf of NDF Kerala, I welcome this great soldier to this holy land, Gurukulam.
ഇത്തരം വീരനായകന്മാർ ഓരോ നിമിഷവും ഇമജിമ്മാതെ നമുക്ക് കാവലായി ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നാം ഏവരും സുരക്ഷിതരായി ജീവിക്കുന്നത്. ആ യുദ്ധഭൂമിയിൽ വീണ വീരജവാന്മാരുടെ ഓരോ തുള്ളി രക്തത്തിനും നാം ഓരോരുത്തരും കടപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. അവരുടെ ധീരതയുടെ മുൻപിൽ മനസാ പ്രണമിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നന്ദി പറയുകയും ചെയ്യേണ്ടവരാണ്. ഈ വീരദിനം അതിനുകൂടിയാവട്ടെ.
Once again, thank you for the NDR Dudi Vaha's team members for bringing such a video, and really children are motivated. We too have that goosebumps. Everybody is having the true spirit of patriotism. So this Kargil Vijay Divas has become more meaningful by the presence of Sadhvang sir and the entire Gurukulam team, students, parents, teachers, and everyone. So let us have the feeling of oneness. Thank you so much. Nah, okay, come on. We'll say, okay, Bharat Mata ki Jai! Bharat Mata ki Jai! Bharat Mata ki Jai! Thank you.